Hello everyone. So today we are going to see how can we use this REST repositories dependency in the Spring Boot. So earlier, in order to create a REST API using Spring Boot, what you have to do is we have to create so many classes, that is controller, uh, then we have to write service and so on. Now here, if we use these REST repositories, then what we have to do is we have to create only the entity, and second one is the repository, that is any interface that is extending from JPA repository. Only this we two we have to give, and also in the application dot properties we have to give the database related information, that is URL, username, password. Then Spring Boot will automatically create a REST API. So after creating this much, if you want to see all the employees, then you have to give this request. Then you will get all the employees that is present in the database. Then if you want to get the employee by ID, then this is this URL you can use. Now if you want to save the employee, then you can give this, and you can give pass the data. Then if you want to delete, you can give this, and it will be here you have to give the ID, and the employee corresponding to ID1 will be deleted. Now in this URL, this is port number of your server, and this is nothing but, so in the case, let's suppose you created the entity with the name employee, then the plural form of this we have to give here, like employee for employee. Let's suppose you have created the entity student, then in that case what URL you have to use is http://localhost:8080, that is port number /students, right? So now let's see how can we use practically. So if I go to the STS, I will create here a project, go to the files, go to the new, go to the Spring Start project. Here I will give Spring Boot data REST. Then we have to click on next. Then what are the dependencies we have to add is, first I will use here a Lombok Spring Data JPA. In order to connect with the MySQL, I am using here MySQL driver, and here you have to search for REST repositories. You can see in the web REST repository. So this will require. Now if I click on next, and I will click on finish, right? So now we have to only create this entity repo and give the database properties. So if I go to here we'll expand this. If I go here, and I will create a packages called new, go to the package dot entity, right? And next one is right click on this, go to the new, go to the package, and here I will create repo. That's it. Now go to the new, go to the class. In the entity I will create here employee, right? Now here it is taking some time. So here I will create private integer ID and private string name of employee. This I want to give as a primary key. So @id, control shift to import jakarta.persistence.id, and I want to take it as auto generated value. So strategy at identity, right? Now we have to map with the table entity. So, and if you want to give the table name as you wish, so I will give here emp tab, right? Now in order to create a getter and setter, I will use here Lombok annotations at the data, at the all args constructor, and at the rate no args constructor to create a constructors, right? This is done. Next thing is a repository. So create an interface with the name employee repository finish, which is extends JPA repository. Here I will give employee, entity name, and primary key ID, primary key data type integer, right? Next thing is done. Third one is application dot properties. So in the SRC resources application.properties spring dot data source dot URL, so JDBC colon MySQL colon / localhost colon port number of MySQL / schema name. So here in the MySQL workbench, I have already created one schema with the name new. Here we can see there is no table in the schema. Now what I will do, I will go to the STS, then here I will give a username, username as a, so whatever the at the time of downloading MySQL, whatever you have given, that you have to give root, and then I will give here a password as root and HBM2 detail we have to give. So I will take here as a update. So spring.jpa.hibernate detail as a update. So update means if a table is already present, then it will modify according to this employee fields. If not present, it will create by Hibernate. So that's it, we have to give. Now it's time to check the application. If I go to this and if I do control F11, run as a Spring Boot application, if I run this, let's see what happened. Yes, our application is running now. If I go to the MySQL workbench, if I refresh this and if I go to the new schema, you can see that EMP tab is created with the two columns, that is ID and name. That means our table is created. Now it's time to check these APIs. First one is, if you want to see the employees in the database, so http colon localhost 8080 is the port number, and employees, it is a plural form of your entity. If I click on send, you will not see any record. So here you can see employees is this empty array, because we didn't save any data about the employee in the database. So another here we can see this is giving us the URLs to see the pages and the size of page. So what I will do, this is working great. So if I go to the post and I want to save the employee with the name John, we didn't require to give the ID because it will be auto incremented. So here we can see in order to save the employee, what you have to do is choose here a post, then http colon localhost 8080 is port number, and plural form of your entity name. So here I have given employees. Then in order to pass the data, what you have to do is, in this here we have to choose body. Inside body we have to choose raw, and inside raw you have to choose what, JSON. So here I am giving JSON data. So I will give here only name because we have taken primary key, that will be auto incremented. So if I click on send, so here with the response, so here you can see name is John and its ID is 1, and you can access this employee by using this URL. So if I go here, and here we have to choose get employees 1. So if you want to find the employee by ID, then we have to, this URL is same, and after that we have to give the ID. So if I click on send, here we go, John is coming. So if I go to the MySQL workbench, if I refresh this, here we go, 1 John is coming. That means if I go to see and here we have to find all the employees. If I click on send, you can see earlier it was the array was empty. Now you can see John is coming. Now this how to find all employees is working, and how to find employee by ID is also working, and how to save the employee is also working. Now it's time to check for what delete. So if I go to delete, so in the delete what you have to do is here choose the delete, then this is URL is same up to employees, and after that we have to give the ID of the employee which you want to delete, right? So as we have only one employee, what let me do add some another employees. I will add 3-4 employees. So here is Sam. If I click on send, Sam will be saved, and I will also add Smith. If I click on send, it will be saved. If I go to the MySQL workbench, if I go here, you can see 3 employees are there. So let's see in the employees, you can see if I hit now this, here we go, we should get 3 employees. First one is John, here we go, one John, then Sam, and here we go Smith, right? So if I go here, we have to find by ID. If I click on 2, give your ID to send, here we go Sam. If I give here 3, it should give us a Smith, right? Now if we want to delete the employee with the ID 2, so what I will do, here we have to select delete, we have to give here a ID, then click on send, and Sam is deleted. If I go to the MySQL workbench, if I refresh here, you can see that Sam is deleted successfully. So we have performed successfully how to fetch all employees, how to fetch employee by ID, how to save employee, how to delete employee, right? Now let us see how to update an employee. So here we have employee with the ID 1, his name is John. Now I want to update the John name with the something Angela. So if I go here, I will copy these employees too. If I go to put here, what you have to do is what is the ID of the employee that we want to update, that is 1. So here we have to give the ID at the end 1, then go to the bodies, go to the raw, and go to the JSON, right? And here we have to give the uh, information that you want to update. So in the name, I want to do it as Angela, right? Now if I go and click on send, what should we get? Yeah, Angela is coming. And if I go to the MySQL workbench, and if I refresh here, you can see that John is replaced with Angela. So this is a way you can also update the employee. Only thing we have to remember, earlier whenever we used to create a REST API by ourselves, what we did is we, in order to update the employee, we give the here URL, and we give here ID. But here, while using REST repositories, what you have to do is, along with this URL, we have to give the ID of the employee that you want to update. So this is a way, by using REST repositories, the Spring Boot will create a REST API for ourselves. So automatically. So earlier what we did was, in order to create a REST API, we have to write this controller, we have to give this, we have to create these methods, and so on. So if you want to avoid that, then you can use this REST repository. So I will give link of the code in the description. If you want to practice, you can practice there. So if you like this video, you can hit like button and subscribe to our channel.